Hello and welcome to Conversation Corner. My name is Kunal, and today we are going to talk about the concept of fasting, and I'll let you know why it might be a good idea to implement this in your life. Ever since we were kids, I think we've heard this slogan being said time and time again: 3 meals a day, 3 meals a day. And when you grow up with that saying, when you reach adulthood, you believe that anything apart from 3 meals a day is abnormal. It's like asking someone to work on a Saturday, Sunday, and telling them we're meant to work 7 days a week. That is something absolutely foreign to the average person because they grow up listening to 3 meals a day, 3 meals a day all the time. Now we need to keep in mind that the world we live in right now, many people aren't dying due to hunger, but due to obesity. Of course, there still are people who don't have access to food, and there are people who do die due to hunger, but there are a lot of people who die due to health related reasons due to obesity. And it's growing. Obesity as a phenomenon is prevalent worldwide, and apparently we've just accepted it as a natural consequence of living a modern lifestyle, of having a regular 9 to 5 job, being able to order food at the touch of a button, and not exercising has become quite normal in these days. So, keeping that in mind, of course, a large population of any country thinks that 3 meals a day is what you're required to eat. But the truth of the matter is, if you are obese, perhaps you could do without 3 meals a day and it'll even be better for you. Now, speaking from my experience, when I used to go to the gym quite often, I decided to bulk up and I tried to do that in a very short span of time. As a consequence, what happened is I grew really fat really fast, hardly put on any muscle, and my trousers were no longer fitting me. So then I realized that I had to do something about my weight. I was eating ungodly amounts of food, more than 3 times in a day, and that wasn't good for me. I grew really fat, and then I had to reduce that weight. So I decided to start fasting, and I remember that within a month I shrank from about 36 inches to 30 inches, and trousers could fit me again, and I got a new pair because the one I had was too loose. And all this was thanks to fasting. Now, if you're someone who's been eating 3 meals a day every day of his or her life, the idea of going one whole day without food looks absolutely bonkers to you, right? To go 24 hours without putting anything on your mouth might drive you a little crazy. And I'll tell you how it will work. When you decide to do it on one particular day, there will come a regular time where you will feel hungry. I believe this is the time the hormone ghrelin kicks in, which initiates hunger in your system and you feel like eating. Now, this feeling does stay with you for a while. You will feel your stomach rumbling, and sometimes you might even hear the sounds of your stomach rumbling. If you can overcome that feeling for, let's say, about 15 to 20 minutes, the rest of the day goes really well. Now, there are some drawbacks to fasting. Like, if you do fasting, say, 2 or 3 days in a row, your metabolism really goes down. So, the moment you have a large meal after you fasted for a long time, there's a good chance you'll experience certain bowel problems like diarrhea. So, if you plan to fast in moderation, it works well for you. Also, if you feel that you're sleepy during the afternoon, it's a good idea to condition yourself not to eat large amounts of carbohydrates during the afternoon, because consuming large quantities of carbohydrates is what triggers this hormone melatonin, which is the hormone that is responsible for triggering sleep. That's why people feel really drowsy in the afternoon. I have tried implementing a habit of eating within a 3 hour window this week. That is to say, out of 24 hours in a day, I'm just eating all the food I can in 3 hours, and that really helps me. So I didn't have breakfast nor did I have lunch for this past week, and I'm feeling great. The amount of sleep I've had to have as a result has also gone down drastically from, let's say, needing 8 hours. I managed to do with 6, and things are going pretty well. So if you want to bring fasting into your life, take this into account that it's not going to be easy initially. You will struggle a little, but as time passes, you get used to it. And maybe if you are a beginner, start off with fasting once in a week. Of course, this is not medical advice, so I have to give a disclaimer. Do consult your physician before implementing this advice. But generally, if you fast once in a week, that's probably not going to kill you. Give it a shot, and if it works well for you, let me know. I want to explore new ideas, and one main idea that I do want to get out into the world is you do not have to have 3 meals in a day. As long as you can meet your daily calorie requirements within a short span of time, that's equally as good. Morning and afternoons are supposed to be dedicated to work, and we don't want to feel drowsy during this time. We don't want to feel unproductive. So it's a good idea to abstain from food at that point of time. What I am doing is I am gearing my meals towards the end of the day. So towards the end of the day, let's say after 8 p.m., I might have 1 or 2 meals in succession. And I also try and sleep early now. Of course, sometimes you just can't get off your phone, and it's not a good habit that needs to be broken. I would admit that. But having my meals later during the day is helping me get ready for a good night's sleep and waking up refreshed. So give this idea a shot if you'd like to, and let me know how it works out for you.